Hey. Welcome into the Hop, round 85. Welcome back. Welcome in if it's your first time. We're here to drink some beer.
We're here to drink some beer in person yet again. Oh my God, this is a new record for us.
It's Beer O'Clock, 2 in-person episodes in a row.
That doesn't happen often. Hashtag coronavirus.
May not happen again for a while, but here we are.
Here we are, round 85. We've hit another milestone, another solid number, but yeah, we are very excited for this one. Last week we had mead. This week, we're doing what we do best. We're going back to beer.
We're going home. We're going to have some beer.
We're going to have some beer, and we're drinking some beer out of New Jersey. What do we got?
We are drinking Hidden Sands Brewing. This one is one of those small episodes, one of those breweries you may not have heard of.
Unless you're from the area, which is fine.
But it's from southern New Jersey, so think Atlantic City area, kind of near there.
Atlantic City, Egg-Harbor to be exact.
Egg-Harbor Township.
Township, yeah. If you don't say it right,
if you get it wrong, yeah.
But yeah, they got a bunch of dope beers. We were fortunate to get our hands on it. I was able to visit the brewery not too long ago, and I purposely got beer that we're not drinking today because I was like,
so today will be a new experience. But we have a flight, so we have something for the IPA lovers. We have something for the lager people. We got something for nothing for the sours. Nothing for sour.
You guys. Tough. You guys are tough shit.
They have beers for you, but we're not going to drink them. But so we have a lot to do, and we have a jam-packed episode, and we're pumped. And
back to New Jersey.
Let's do it. Also, can I just make a comment on the fact that you said it's round 85, and it just hit me how fast 100 is approaching?
Oh yeah, we have to do something special for that episode.
Oh my God, we have to we need to make the Apple Podcast app crash with how exciting our 100th episode.
Challenge accepted. Are you kidding me? That would be amazing.
And in order to do that, what we need all of you to tell all your family and friends about the hop. Get everybody on board. Get all of the hop heads together.
Hop heads.
We'll make so t-shirts that you can have a party
if we get enough of you.
Yeah. You can keep up with the show, Instagram and Twitter. We're at the HO Podcast. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube. You can watch the show as a video product. You can see the beers, what they look like, the color, the can art, all the beauty. I mean, beer is such a visual experience. You want to join us?
It really is. Half of it is because, if you're someone who's a beer beginner and you don't know what stuff is, you can look at a beer and go, that looks good. Let me grab that.
Beer Ginner.
That's better. As I hit my mic.
So find us on YouTube. Just search for the Hop, a Craft Beer Podcast. Once you've found us, subscribe and click the bell so you get notified whenever an episode drops. You can also, if you just want to listen, you can find us on all the major podcast platforms, and wherever you listen, if you could subscribe on there, if you could follow, whatever they call it, and rate and review. Those rate and reviews are really helpful. They help the show get better and better and better every week.
For sure.
And so if you want to see something different in the next 100 episodes, tell us about it over on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, and there you can leave a 5-star review. We love those. And in that review, let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. Let us know if there's another dope brewery. I mean, every brewery has a bunch of beers, so we could do a flight for any brewery. But some breweries have very specific beers. So if there's hey, you should do a flight of this brewery, let us know. We are here for you.
We are going to dive into some beer news at this point.
Beer news.
All right, so some highlights of what's going on in the beer world. Jack's Abbey is now being distributed in New York and New Jersey. That's exciting if you live in those states. Congratulations, Gabe. They're expanding their distribution channel. Sweetwater is also expanding. They're in Michigan now. That happened about a week ago, maybe a little more than that.
Yeah.
This is exciting. It's Oktoberfest season. We're coming up on actual Oktoberfest is more towards the end of September, but it's time for those beers to be released. So you're starting to see them already. And this is a beer style that we love very much.
The pumpkin batch and the fall seasonal. It's still a little early, but it's coming. It's around. Coming. It's not far away.
And before pumpkin flavored beers, we see Oktoberfest. So those Marzens, those lagers are coming out. So Sierra Nevadas is out. They do it every year. AleSmith, nice. 2 breweries that have been on our show. Both of those were released a little bit more than a week ago. So they're coming out right and left. So check your local breweries for that if you are an Oktoberfest person.
And if you're in Germany, and you don't need to travel and you can just go down the street to Oktoberfest, they're,
We're jealous.
they're not having it, but like that's where it's held. So
the hop live from Oktoberfest is gonna happen.
Oh my God.
We need to give it some time. We need to let this virus chill out, but
absolutely,
it's happening.
Absolutely. Us drunk. Hey, we're here wearing lederhosen. Oh, it'd be amazing.
And finally, trend-wise, I think this goes without saying, but it's worth mentioning. COVID-19 is still out there. It's still a thing. It's obviously still something to keep an eye on because different cities are handling it differently. Regulations are changing, going back and forth. I think of COVID-19 like if you have a water bottle that's like half empty and you like slosh it around and it just like it goes over here, it goes over there. Like that's how I think of
yeah, pretty much
COVID-19 restrictions. So, something to keep an eye on because different things are happening. Breweries are having to reimpose certain restrictions or change their whatever. So
yeah, it's not officially over yet. We're getting
not
there.
even yet.
But
yeah. All right. Our first story that we're covering, Wormtown Brewing has officially named their new CEO. Its managing partner and founding member, David Fields. Now he's officially becoming the CEO. We talked about back in June, they had a sort of major shakeup at Wormtown. They had, allegations of, along with the whole brewing industry, but Wormtown had a big one where they were accused of a toxic work environment, multiple allegations of sexual misconduct by employees and covering up of said sexual misconduct by ownership. So all of this led to 2 employees being fired. It led to an internal investigation. It led to an advisory board, and the entire ownership kind of stepped away from the day-to-day operations.
Big shift.
Yes. So David Fields is now the official CEO of the company, and he is taking over leadership from Scott Metzger, who was the general manager and is now, he's going to the beach. He said, I need some sunshine. I'm going to go be COO at Maui Brewing Company. So good for you, Scott.
Nice.
Good for you getting out. So as I mentioned, the internal investigation led to the dismissal of 2 employees and the ownership team sort of stepping away, but the ownership team is coming back with the exception of 1 member who is stepping away permanently. But the rest of them are coming back to resume control of the brewery alongside a permanently installed advisory board. And the purpose of the advisory board, according to David Fields, is, quote, to provide insight, ideas, and creative thinking to our leadership team, guiding us in setting strategic direction, identifying opportunities, and focusing on our workplace culture. So there's a lot being instituted. There was stuff being instituted before even this shakeup happened there. Just in response to what was going on in the brewing industry. But, things like updating their harassment guidelines, in training for employees, all that kind of stuff was in place already, but they're working on it. So now they move to replacing their COO. They move to hopefully, creating a more friendly work environment and a, less toxic place to work and getting back to what they started the brewery for, which was to create good beer and have fun doing it. So
absolutely get the right people in place.
Yeah. So like we like to say in these situations, clean it up, fellas.
Clean it up. It's a little dirty. Some unfortunate news. The Denver Rare Beer Tasting has been canceled. We all kind of saw it coming, but it is unfortunate and it is happening.
Oh my God.
Ew.
Yeah, it's very ew. I don't like it.
Yeah, we're not fans.
We're not fans.
It sucks.
It was supposed to happen on September 9th. We reported a little while ago. It was going to serve as an alternate to this year's Great American Beer Festival, the GABF, if you will. They announced in June, after careful consideration, they decided it might not be best to do so, given what you just said. COVID is still here.
Yeah.
In a press release, the founder of Pints for Prostates, which this event was meant to support, said, the latest information on the Delta variant, along with the upward trend of new cases, gives us pause. As a men's health charity, holding the Denver Rare Beer Tasting under these circumstances would be counterintuitive to our mission. Ticket holders are receiving information about next steps via email. It's still a thing, guys. I know it's unfortunate, but it is still a thing. So we're hoping this can come back soon because we would love a reason to go back to Denver. They have good beer and they have good events like this.
Get your shots, people. Just get the jab. Get the jab. Talk to who you need to talk to.
It doesn't hurt.
Do your research. The next day was a little rough, but other than that.
For the second one, the first one was like, all right, I'm a little tired. The second one, and I think you had it worse than I did. Like the second one for me, I was just tired and.
The second one I wanted to die for, I would say, a good 6 hours. But after that, life returned to life got way better. So get the jab. We're going to do one quick thing before we dive into the rest of this episode. I think you know what's coming.
This Week in Gross.
Oh, boy.
Now, last week we talked about a beer that was brewed with bull testicles, and admittedly, this is not that bad.
Yeah, I feel like
by comparison,
at the top of our list, that one is probably number one.
Yeah, that's way higher than this, but here we go. Shipyard Brewing Company claims that they're giving seltzer fans what they truly wanted. I don't know that anybody truly wanted this, but they've made a hard seltzer that is pumpkin flavored. It's only 2 grams of sugar. It's 110 calories. That's great, but it's quote packed with pumpkin pie flavors of cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. Now,
you can't do that with a seltzer. You can do that with a beer.
Listen, I understand, especially this time of year, we're getting to it. People love pumpkin.
Yeah.
And I love pumpkin. And I've said on this show, I've been very vocal in the past about how I love pumpkin flavored beers, and I will drink them happily, at least one a year. If not more.
One a month.
But the thing is that beer has malt to stand up to the sweetness of the pumpkin. Seltzer does not.
I feel like you're going to be drinking like a carbonated liquid that's just nutmeg and pumpkin. Like that's not going to be good.
You're going to be drinking like sweet water.
Yeah.
No pun intended to sweet water. But you're going to be drinking sweet water. It just sounds, I don't know. The product is, it's been on the shelf for nearly 2 weeks. The whole point of it is to be a companion to Shipyard's Pumpkinhead Ale, which is not out yet, but is coming very soon. It comes every single year. It's wildly popular. Not my favorite pumpkin ale, if I'm being honest. It's a little low ABV. It tends to be more of a shandy, personally, but a lot of people love it. You know, they if you order it in a restaurant, they serve it with the cinnamon on the rim and all that stuff.
I will admit, I do really like it. I'm not the biggest fan of the cinnamon, though. I don't know why. For some reason, it just didn't really work well for me.
It just accentuates the sweet, and it's like...
Yeah, maybe that's
why I like my pumpkin ales to be higher ABV, because, again, it's about standing up to the sweet, cutting the sweet, giving it a backbone,
right?
Which is the problem with this seltzer.
And I'm like disappointed. This is Shipyard. Like I feel like they don't make anything bad.
Well, it
doesn't look good.
This is contempt prior to investigation. It's a small batch, limited edition. Apparently, it's strictly allocated. If you are in Maine or somewhere that Shipyard does distributing, you can get your hands on it. But the company is watching closely to see how it performs. So
I would love to see what sales they have, like how the sales do.
If they're good, you might see this be a thing going forward.
I think we're going to see this be a thing for a lot of other breweries, because there was, the seltzer boom, and then every other brewery said we need to get in on this. And then, everyone just started making it. But like now that it's going to be pumpkin season, people are going to be like, well, we have the seltzer, we got the pumpkin.
I don't like it.
Like I'm at the point now, it's like, when is Starbucks going to come out with a hard seltzer pumpkin latte?
Well, first Starbucks needs to serve alcohol, which, by the way...
But seriously, though, like, they might.
Now
that's an idea.
That would be sweet. All right.
Can I get a coffee and a shot of whiskey in there?
Well, should we pivot from seltzer and drink some beer, Gabe?
Please, dear God, hit me with a toast. Because this brewery is so close to Atlantic City, what do you find in Atlantic City?
Gamblers and prostitutes?
Yes. I was going to say casinos. So this toast is in inspiration for casinos with old Blue Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra. They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for a doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. You're on this date with me. The pickings have been lush, and yet before this evening is over, you might give me the brush. You might forget your manners, you might refuse to stay, and so the best that I can do is pray. Luck, Let a gentleman see how nice a dame you can be. I know the way you've treated other guys you've been with. Luck, be a lady with me. A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair, it isn't nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's dice. Let's keep this party polite, never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fellow you came in with. Luck, be a lady tonight.
Now I want to sing that song.
Oh yeah.
Did I ever tell you I played Sky Masterson, and that was my star turn when I was 13. Was
oh really?
Sky Masterson singing "Luck Be a Lady," a little 13-year-old gambler.
Look at you crushing it.
Yeah, buddy.
I wanted the real music, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to insult the man by trying. Let me just stick with what we've got. To be completely honest.
First up in our journey is their Pilsner, which is their 800 Pils, and it's a German-style Pilsner malt hopped with a blend of Hallertau and Tettnang hops. Bright, crisp, and refreshing, and this won a silver medal at the GABF.
At the GABF.
We're not sure what year that happened, but it did happen.
I believe it might have been recently. The brewery opened in 2018.
So it can only really have been 2018, 2019. That's it.
So one of those.
One of those two.
There we go.
Yeah. It's a Pilsner. It's 5.5% ABV, and Untapped has it at 3.59. Beer Advocate has not rated it, and I feel like that's going to be the case for a lot of these because
I'm pretty sure it's the case for all of these.
It's like we said, it's a smaller brewery, but on the SRM chart, I would put it maybe around a 5. It's cloudy. It's yellow, golden, sunshine.
It's golden sunshine on the cusp of straw yellow, I would say. Straw yellow to the golden sunshine, as you said. I believe it had like a 5-second head when we poured it.
Yeah, something like that. A little bit of retention, but it has receded into basically nothing. And, not much lacing. It's really clean in the glass.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do a flight, people, start with a Pilsner.
You got to start, based off of the 4 beers you have to go in order.
Well, that too, but just like, I would order a Pilsner in almost every flight I'm doing just because it just cleanses the palate for beer.
It's a great introduction.
It's just like it's like 5 minutes on the treadmill before you do your workout. It's like, all right, here we go. We're moving now.
Let's wake the body up.
Yeah.
let's get loose, and absolutely.
That's a Pilsner.
Yeah, it smells like one for sure. I mean, it's got kind of like that light, almost lager-like smell to it, and I think that would be because of the Hallertau, because I feel like other beers we've had with Hallertau hops, I've gotten the smell almost exactly.
Yeah, it's this is between this and the news at the top. I'm really I'm pumped for Oktoberfest season. That's what I'm feeling.
Pumped for fall. It's too hot.
The nose is like it's cereal and grain. It's the Pilsner malt, but there's the citrus in there, and again, with Pilsners, it's usually you're talking like lemon, like some more bitter, maybe some orange, but really lemon comes through, a little bit of lime, not the tropical kind of citrus like you would get on an IPA.
Yeah, lime. I wasn't expecting lime, and I did. Now that you said it, it is kind of it's subtle, but it's there for sure. I mean, it definitely has that kind of bready kind of character to it as well. So it's good.
Yeah, it's clean. If you're again, I mean, we've said this before, but it bears repeating. If you're a Corona person, if you're a big beer person, Budweiser, all that kind of stuff, any kind of Pilsner like this from a craft brewery is gonna suit you A-okay.
It's gonna do the job, and it's gonna be
even better. Yeah,
higher in quality.
Oh yeah, but this is well, we got a flight to drink.
We got a flight. Yeah, we gotta keep it moving. So here we go. Should we just chug this? Oh my god, it's so easy to drink.
So smooth. I mean,
it's great though.
Super crisp, super clean in the mouth. Some fruity notes, definitely. Again, that sort of grapefruit, a little bit of lemon, some things like that coming from the Hallertau hops, and the malt background is really it's the star.
It's like a sweet malt though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's not
bread.
Yeah, but it's like a sweet, it's not the grain base I think I'm used to. It's kind of got like a refreshing little kick to it, if you will.
I was gonna say honey, and then I'm thinking about last week.
Oh boy!
And I'm like, well, it's not that much honey.
Not that much honey, but
the honey, yeah.
Honestly, in that direction, I would definitely say yes to.
Yeah, moving towards the sort of earthy florality, almost vegetal, but I don't mean that in a bad way. It's not so straw heavy, so malt heavy that it's like vegetal. It's really nice corn. Corn husk is one thing I always get off of Pilsner.
For sure. Definitely very easy to drink, very simple. I think the back end is pretty clean. I don't really get. I mean, I'm getting a lot of flavor, but I'm not feeling thirsty or anything like that. Or
this is like, I really don't know what much to say about it other than like this is the Pilsner.
This is the pregame beer.
Yeah, this is or during the game beer if you want to slam like 5 of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you're at a game and it's hot out and you don't want to pay for.
This is a great tailgate beer.
This is a perfect tailgate beer.
Yeah, because tailgates usually have. I always have a problem with tailgates because like I've never gone to one on the West Coast. I feel like that's even worse. But on the East Coast, the game's usually at like 1. Mm-hmm. So when you tailgate, you're eating like sausages and brats at like 11, and I'm always like, I still have my coffee.
Yeah, that's a little tough. But I don't think it's ever too early for a beer.
Someone pops.
I mean, like if you're at it's like we're drinking at 11:30. It's like, well, then we're tailgating.
You just have to wake up knowing what that day is gonna be.
Yeah.
You got to prep the whole drive there because when you hear the crack of a beer can at 11 o'clock, it's a little like,
over.
All right, here we go. I think this is just a solid Pilsner. I don't know what else to say about it other than I guess we could read what's on the can, which, well, we're going to get into that a little bit later. The rainwater thing and all that stuff. Really big with this company.
Yeah.
It's their logo.
This there's a reason why it's called 800 Pils. It's the number.
Oh, got it. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess rather than tease the people, we could get into it a little bit. Hidden Sands Brewing, they opened their taproom in 2018. They were established as a company in 2014, but they now have a 10,000 square foot building in, as we said before, Egg-Harbor Township, which is near Atlantic City along the Jersey Shore.
Great fun, great spot. I was able to go there, check it out a little bit. Definitely, it's got kind of like an industrial vibe to it. It's kind of like you turn down the road and it's kind of in the back sort of deal. But yeah, they got a really dope space. Atlantic City's like 25 minutes away. So if you go there during the day, go home, take a nap, go to the casino. It's perfect.
I always feel like I need to defend the Jersey Shore because I grew up going there a lot. And like Jersey Shore, whatever you saw on MTV is not what we're talking about.
Yeah, no.
That's not the Jersey Shore. But it's actually a pretty solid area of a kind of shitty state.
We're all thinking it.
But the shore part is nice.
Yeah, that's cool. I finally went on the boardwalk for the first time when I went to visit, and it was cool.
Which boardwalk? Fun. Atlantic City? Could have been Ocean City.
Ocean City, that's what it was.
You went to Ocean City?
Yes, went to Ocean City. I was going to say, we weren't near Atlantic City. Oh, crap. Where did we go? Oh, it was Ocean City.
Oh, we have to talk later. But
it's dope.
It's a really nice area, and there's a lot of great like beach towns in there, it's great to see the brewery scene kind of flourishing there because when I was younger, it never really was part. I mean, Ocean City itself, since you brought it up, is a city adjacent to Atlantic City. Again, that's like 20-ish minutes from Atlantic City, and it's a dry city. I mean, there is no alcohol over that bridge at all.
Yes, if you want alcohol, you need to go to that liquor store.
You have to go Circle Liquors.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I know.
Yes, it is.
I know. See, we know Jersey.
There's another one that we went to. It was something with I think it was like Sharp Liquors or something. But you have to cross over the bridge if you want booze.
We're talking to no one. This is just you and me at this point. But the Jersey Shore has some really nice spots, and so it's great to see the brewery scene exploding there, and are starting to anyway. Hidden Sands is one of them, and we have, I think, some more to do in the future, maybe. But there's other great breweries down there as well in Cape May and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, water. Do you want to talk about the water?
Sure. Yeah, this brewery is all about fresh water. They, I would argue they kind of brag about it a little bit, but they have a reason to. So they have a super fresh water supply from their own well that's connected to what they're calling an 800 aquifer, aka 800 pills. And also their logo is a little well
thing, yeah.
thingy. So that's what they do. They say the brewery drilled a 650-foot well into the Atlantic City 800-foot sand aquifer, hence the name, hence the logo, hence the name for the Pilsner. Hidden Sands, yada, yada, yada. All the Hidden Sands beers are brewed with the water directly from the aquifer, and they're made with quality, locally sourced ingredients. It's a big thing for them. One of their main missions was pristine water can not only help beer, but it helped the taste, and the local ingredients also help with that. Each beer kind of has the name and the quality of it has kind of like a nod to New Jersey. So that's kind of what their whole main mission was for this, and for this one specifically. But yeah, they say the water helps the taste, and good water does help taste, because in New Jersey it's for beer, in New York it's for the bagels. That's why they say New York bagels are the best, because of the water.
In San Francisco, it helps with the sourdough.
Oh yeah.
They say, it's true for beer as well as it is for food and restaurants and whatnot. You're only as good as the ingredients you're putting in your product. So it's important, and they, this is a big thing for them. It's in their logo. It's in the name.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I didn't really know Hidden Sands, and I saw a well thing, and I was like, cool, that's just their thing. I don't know what it's about. And then doing the research, I was like, oh, wow, it does all connect. Like, it was really interesting to learn about.
Once you've had a Pilsner, I think the logical next step is to go to an amber ale, which is one of our favorite things of all time. So we're going to do that now. Do you want to introduce this bad boy?
I would love to. Give me this can. Oh, it's so good. From what I hear, I haven't tried it yet. But this is the Amber Sands. It is their amber ale. A hazy amber ale with German malt, lightly toasted and sweet with a light, noble hop presence. It is 6%, 20 IBUs. Beer Advocate said, get away from me. Untapped gave it a 3.63. And on the SRM chart, I mean, if you know amber ales, it's an amber. It's got that copper wooden finish looking color to it, dark reddish orange. Put it between like a 9, 18 and a 20-ish.
Yeah, I was gonna say 17, 18. It's definitely copper. This one is not as deep red as I've seen some. Maybe it's just because we are pouring it into sort of rocks glasses as opposed to what we would drink a full pint out of. But it's definitely that copper color that we love. First of all, red ale, amber ale, interchangeable terms. I think that sometimes it gets conflated or lost, and I think it's important to say red ale, amber ale, they're the same thing. But we love amber ales, Gabe and I, or red ales, whatever you want to call them. We love them because the hops are present. It gives you the maltiness of a Pilsner, a little bit of florality from the hops. Like, it's like a beautiful blend of styles.
It really is. Good. I also love just the taste and the overall color. Like, anytime I see a beer that looks like this, I'm like, what's that? Let's drink it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I'm pumped about this one. Again, the head has dissipated pretty well at this point. Again, it had a little bit of retention, but it's similar to the Pilsner in terms of like how it rides in the glass. Yeah. Very clean. Plenty of carbonation coming up from the bottom, but really no head to speak of. I mean, the color is pretty. It's a little bit cloudy, but not much. But in terms of like the top of the beer, I would say it's not the prettiest beer I've ever seen.
No, but not a lot of lacing, not a lot of stickiness.
Yeah, nothing like that.
That makes sense.
One
whiff off the smell, and I'm getting sweet, sweet malt. That's just all I'm getting.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like this is that's an amber.
That's super sweet. That's like caramel. It's like toffee caramel.
Yeah. Cinnamon roll,
burnt sugar
without the cinnamon, like the cream you put on top of a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of fruity hops behind it, but I mean, the first whiff you get is like sweet, just burnt sugar, like that caramel brulee latte from Starbucks. Like,
shout out to Starbucks, please sponsor us.
Starbucks, huge part of this episode.
Huge fans.
Not a sponsor yet.
We're trying to start the movement to get alcohol in your shops.
In your stores. They were piloting that at one point. I feel like it was like in Seattle or something. Yeah, they were going to do like Starbucks with alcohol, and I don't know what happened to it. I still haven't seen it reach California.
I mean, people would be going to work like, I'm here. Like, maybe that's why.
No, you stop at Starbucks on the way to work. You stop at Starbucks on the way home from work. See how that
maybe
works?
they open up the alcohol portion at like 4 p.m. or something.
That could work.
That
Starbucks,
could work.
get on it. We should say again, Starbucks, not a sponsor.
Hey, Starbucks, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Free publicity. They needed publicity, really.
They're struggling as of late.
Please help out the fine folks at Starbucks, ladies and gents, because...
They changing that logo yet?
All right, can we drink this beer?
Oh, man. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it,
Oh,
love it.
it's so good.
Great.
It's so sweet, but again, you know...
That's awesome.
When we talk about sweetness in terms of a beer, because there's such a strong malt presence, this isn't too sweet at all. It's not cloying or anything like that. The malt is, I mean, the sweetness comes from the noble hops, and they're really present. It's a nice sort of vibrant tropical florality coming out of it. But I mean that those toasted malts. I don't want to say roasted, because roasted would be like a stout.
Yeah,
they're toasted.
They're toasted. They're like, you know, when you're doing s'mores and you got the marshmallow and it's like perfectly like just brownish.
You know how I s'more?
You stick it in the fire?
Light it on fire.
Thank you.
Blow it out.
Sidebar. So sorry. We're just going off the rails. I did that too, and so many people are like, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like,
It cooks it quicker. It cooks it better.
I'm like,
and
let me eat my s'more.
Let me s'more.
Get out of here, Dad.
But this is a light toast, and it's really good because it's like a good toasted bread. It's just the right amount of bitter. It's just the right amount of burn or char or whatever you want to call it.
Kissed by fire. Don't do that and look at me ever again.
That's okay.
Are we feeling this already? Like,
yes, we haven't eaten much. It's early.
It is early for us. Yeah, we recorded a little bit earlier. I really like it though. It's sweet bread is just the first thing I think of. I mean, I think if you go into any sort of like bakery and you get you don't just get something basic. You get the complex stuff with a little bit of icing on top. That's just where my brain goes to.
It's got a lot more complexity than the Pilsner. I think it leaves your mouth still kind of clean, but just a little bit more lingering flavor. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's like, to me, a Pilsner, like I said, a Pilsner is like a warm up, and this is like, it's not heavy lifting. Like, we're not like benching like all that we can bench, but it's like a good
we're doing legs.
We're on like the TRX pulley things, or like, or we're wheeling the tire through. Like, we're having fun, and we're working out at the same time.
We're breaking a sweat. We're doing our thing.
We're breaking a sweat, but we're also having fun, and we're doing the thing where they run through, or we're doing like pull up bars, or
right,
but not doing pull ups, like monkey bars.
Monkey bars, yeah. You should drink this at the gym. Don't drink this at the gym. Don't do that.
It's very, very good, and again,
it's so weird because like I've had, it's one of our favorite styles. I've had amber ales a lot. I'm not going to say this is my favorite, but I'm definitely going to say this is definitely memorable. I feel like the next amber I have, I'm going to be like, all right, top hidden Sands, because that's fresh on the mind. You know what I mean?
The only way that you can make this better, in my opinion, is to make it a double.
Crank the ABV. Yeah.
I mean,
has any brewery ever made a double amber? Is that
they tend to call it a red ale if they do that. Like, I've had a lot of imperial red ales. I haven't had an imperial amber ale, but like I said, they're the same thing. Really.
Interesting. Yeah.
So,
I would just love a brewery to call it, this is our double amber.
Yeah.
It's like, what
they
does
could.
What does that mean?
But just because the extra ABV just adds a little bit more complexity to it. But flavor-wise, this is so good. I mean, you could stock your fridge with a few 6-packs of this and just drink it any day of the week. Easy drinker. Don't have to think about it. Does everything you want it to do.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. This is definitely an after work. I had a long day. It's, it's Friday and I'm ready for the weekend. Pop one or two of these.
Or it's Monday and I had a rough start to the week, or it's Tuesday and the game's on,
or it's Tuesday and you're on lunch break. Yeah. I don't know.
Because it's 6% ABV. It's not going to kill you, and it's very good. I love this so much, but we do have to move on because we have more beers to drink. And the next one I have a bit of a problem with because we're calling it a DIPA.
DIPA.
And it's 7% ABV.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're not calling it a DIPA.
No, they are. I'm not. Yeah, we're not making shit up. But I mean, double IPA, 7%.
Ugh.
No.
Get your shit together now.
Incorrect. It might be a good beer. I don't know, but Steven's going to call it an IPA. But the brewery calls it a double IPA. Anyway, it's their 608 DIPA, brewed with Pilsner, rye, and flaked oats, hopped with Amarillo and Centennial, balanced bitterness, malt sweetness, and piney flavors. We will see. Untapped has it at 3.64. So yeah, that's just very odd, and it doesn't really line up with what's. I mean, you couldn't submit a 7% beer as a double IPA, I don't think. So
if I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure this was definitely one of their more popular ones, which shows promise. But yeah, I agree with you. They call it a DIPA. They call it a double, but it is only 7%. So we'll see. It's got that, classic orange beer color to it. It's, copper again. I would say it's a little lighter than the amber. I feel like the amber isn't as orange. I feel like the amber's more red. So
the chart that I'm looking at, I want to put it at a 12.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's definitely, but it's got more of a ring around the glass, more head retention, definitely more lacing in the glass. You can tell this is going to be stickier. I think it's going to be hoppier.
This one and the next one, and you'll understand why, had great head retention when we first poured it, like for sure.
Yeah, so it's a totally different beer style. I don't think it's fair necessarily to compare it to the amber, but it's going to be hoppy, and what I do love about it is it's a little cloudy, but not much. It's not a hazy IPA.
No,
I'm looking at it, and I would judge it as a West Coast IPA. Amarillo and Centennial are hoppier, bittier hops as opposed to the tropical, juicier hops. So it's going to have, my guess is some bite. It's going to have some pine. It's going to have some of that going on.
Ka-ching! Because I just took a smell of it, and smells like it's going to be hoppy. It smells like it's going to have bite. It definitely smells like a double, or if we're going to call it an IPA, it smells like an IPA. I mean, it smells like... this is I feel like this is more us.
This is definitely,
I mean, we love ambers, but like this is like, okay, if we had to pick one, I mean, I feel like on the menu, this is the direction we would go.
If I had to pick one for the rest of my life, it would probably be a triple IPA. But
we're obsessed.
No, but it would be an IPA just because, and that's why, I mean, you said this is one of their more popular ones. Like, America is about IPAs. We love IPAs in this country, and that's why there's always a craze for it. It's always the first thing a brewery brews because everybody loves them. My dad will drink them exclusively. He will order a flight of IPA. We'll go to a brewery. We did it last weekend. We go to a brewery, and he'll get IPAs. He'll get a flight, and it'll just be IPA. It's just four IPAs.
Not bad.
Like, can you even tell the difference at all?
And then he drives home. Jesus.
And then he drives home.
That's dope.
Don't do that. Don't drink and drive.
Don't do that.
We're kidding. But
I like how the malts smell very similar to the amber, but amplified.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's there, but okay. Well, he took a step.
I just did.
All right,
it was literally impulse. I just took it. And I was like,
see, here's the thing. Every single time we smell this, my first thought is like, just drink it, and then I'm like, no, we gotta wait.
I sipped it, and then I was like, oh shit, I shouldn't. Well,
I wasn't gonna not call you out on that before I sip it, but yeah, it's the malt character definitely smells. Like it smells very similar to the amber, but amplified, like put up more, and obviously with the ABV and whatnot. But it smells like it's gonna be a party. So here I go, because Steven couldn't wait.
while you drink it, I'm going to talk about it. See, I had a plan to keep the listeners engaged. So the thing is that the malt profile is fascinating here. It's Pilsner malt, it's rye malt, and it's flaked oats, and that it is hoppy. Yes, the Amarillo and Centennial are the stars of the show, but the malt profile is very different. It's a little bit more weedier than I would expect it to be.
I was gonna say oatier.
Yeah. It's the oats, because normally flaked oats give it like a creaminess, and I don't necessarily get that mouthfeel wise.
I would agree. Yeah, I feel like it's more of like the wheat kind of, almost like, do I want to say straw in a way?
It's almost like this subtle hint of like a Belgian beer, just like.
Yeah, for real though.
An IPA is passing you on the highway, but like while it's waving at you, just like a Belgian beer just goes like on the other side, just like, sure. Hey, it's very good, but it does have a little bit more complexity than a lot of IPAs do. What I love about it is, again, if I had to pick West Coast, East Coast, this is a West Coast IPA. It's not juicy at all.
No, not at all.
It's got bite. It's got pine, it's got bitter. The malt is just a little hint of something sort of weedy, and it's a little different. So it's not one note, but it's really good.
I think it's kind of weird in a good way.
Yeah.
I just think it's just, I will say this, not at all what I was expecting.
No.
Not at all. You hear double brewed with Pilsner rye and flaked oats, and you think one thing, and then you get this and you go, oh, okay. But that's okay though. I don't have a problem with that. I think it is another malt forward beer. I think it's hoppy and obviously stronger ABV, obviously, but I like how it's very different. It is very West Coast style, to your point. Not juicy at all, but the sweetness and the flavor kind of does come forward. So I really enjoy that. And 7% is not a double, but 7% is also not nothing.
I mean, according to the Brewers Association, a American style imperial or double India Pale Ale can be between 6% and 8.4% alcohol by weight, but alcohol by volume, it's 7.6 to 10.6. This is not a double. Hidden Sands, if you listen, first of all, thanks for listening, and we really do love your beer. I mean that. I'm just telling you, 7%, 7.0% is not a double. Stamp it up a little.
I just imagine someone in the labeling marketing department accidentally put the D in front of IPA, and they were like, well, we already printed everything. We might just screw it. Just send it out.
I mean, that would make sense if the beer we're about to drink right now wasn't also labeled as a double and wasn't also 7%. So,
and with that segue,
here we go.
Let's move on
to the final one.
Oh, God.
We have one more double IPA to drink, and it's different. So, Gabe, you want to take this?
This is the They just call it the Grapefruit Double IPA. Made with grapefruit. It is a grapefruit twist on our 608 double. Tart, bold, and dangerously smooth. Also 7%. Beer Advocate said, get out. I don't know who you are, and I don't want to talk to you because you're on my lawn. And we were like, okay, relax. Untapped, though, said, come on in. We'll give you a 3.66. And on the SRM chart, okay, so the color is the same as the 608, but this is a cloudy, hazy, so we cannot see through it.
Here's mine back to back if you're on YouTube and you want to take a look at them. This one is the regular 608 that we were drinking, and this is the grapefruit. So this one is much more hazy, I guess. I don't like calling it hazy just because it's unusual. Usually when you see a hazy IPA, it's like much lighter in color, much more yellow. This is copper. This is, again, on the SRM chart, probably around a 12, which is pretty dark. It's a copper color, but it is hazy. It's cloudy. So definitely that. I'm
excited for the grapefruit factor.
I guess that they basically... but I guess that the malt profile and the hop profile are the same. we're to assume.
It sounds like they took the 608, made it with grapefruit, and said, "Here's the spin," which is fine.
Intriguing. Yeah.
But they also call it a double, and it's also 7%.
I mean, when you smell it, the grapefruit is there for sure. The grapefruit is the first thing you notice.
Oh yeah, fruity.
But it's definitely complex. I mean, it smells. I might like this more than I thought I was going to.
Kind of smells like not a sour, but like verging on the sour family.
Yeah, there's esters there.
Yeah.
Sure. Grapefruit peel is present and grapefruit body and juice is present, but there's esters there. There's something sort of tart about it. Outside of that, I get some tea. I don't get nearly as much hop bite off this. Yeah,
I would agree with that. It's dialed back, and for being the same ABV, it's interesting.
Yeah. So our last one for Hidden Sands. Here we go.
Thank you so much.
I waited for you this time.
Thank God. The only thing we'll say is just like, marketing, figure it out.
Just
what do we know?
Little label questions. Here we go. I do like what the grapefruit does here. I like it. I get I get some of the hop bite. It's in there.
Yeah.
My first thought was soap. I don't know what
soap.
I don't know what to say about it.
What?
That was my first thought, but like I don't mean that like it's not bad. I'm just saying like it's definitely it's got a slicker mouthfeel. The hop bite is there, but the juice is up front. I don't know that they marry in the way that they typically do in a juicy IPA.
Do you know what soap tastes like? Did you get your mouth washed out with soap when you said a swear like as a kid? That's why. There you go.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks to that.
Yeah,
I'm traumatized right now. But it's I don't not like it. It's just the grapefruit is... I'm not sure that the grapefruit is really married to it in the way that I typically expect it to be. You get the grapefruit and you get the double IPA. I feel like you get those two experiences separate from each other while you're swallowing it. So you're like, oh, there's a grapefruit. Oh, it's a double. Oh, it's kind of bounces back and forth. But the mouthfeel is pretty nice. The back end is very bitter. It leaves your mouth lingering with a lot of bitterness. That's
correct.
That's my take on it.
Here's my reaction. Mike Breen.
Bang! Exclamation point!
Oh.
Is it the best beer I've ever had? No. But I really enjoy it. I'm going to disagree. I actually think the grapefruit kind of works really well here. I think it is... I'll say this. I don't think it flows. I think it's more of like, okay, grapefruit, now double IPA.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying. Like,
okay, all right. So then we kind of think the same.
It's like think about drinking a juicy IPA, a standard juicy IPA that doesn't say I have grapefruit, but it's a juicy IPA with Citra and Mosaic hops. When you take a sip of it, you get all of that citrus and you get a bitterness too, and they kind of like are doing a tango together in your mouth as they dance down your throat. And
so vivid.
With this, I feel like I get hit with grapefruit first, and then as I'm swallowing it, it's like, wait, but I'm an IPA, and then it goes down my throat.
Okay, I will agree with that. Yes, I will 100% agree with that. I think grapefruit comes through first, and then once you get past that, you remember, oh yeah, it's an IPA. However, I do think it works. I think maybe they're just missing some sort of ingredient or a brewing process technique.
I think they're missing 1 to 2% ABV.
Also, yes.
I don't mean to harp on it, but
I'm sure we're going to rank these at the end, but I think if we're going to compare the two doubles we just had, I'd rather have this for sure.
Interesting.
That would be my take.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
I'm sure we will. I think it's fun. I like the grapefruit flavor. I think... I will say this, though. I understand what they were going for with, this is a grapefruit twist on our 608 double. I think they should just make the grapefruit double its own thing. I don't think they should take the 608, put grapefruit to it, and call it its own beer. I think you have a good idea, and I think you have a good backbone and presence to just like get away from the 608. Just make a grapefruit double and do it on its own like this.
Because if this is what they did, and we don't know for sure, but grapefruit, Centennial, and Amarillo hops, those are different. Like, I have been so vocal on this show about how I feel about Citra and Mosaic hops. I'm so sick of them. But they're there for a reason, and grapefruit and Mosaic hops, match made in heaven. This, I don't not like it. I don't want to say it's bad. It's not bad at all. It's a very good beer, but I just don't know that the marriage is there in the way that I might expect it to be.
And I'm going to meet you halfway on that. I would agree with that for sure. Yeah. I think it, to your credit, I think it is grapefruit. Wait, I'm an IPA.
I'm an IPA.
I think it's that way as well. I will say this. Not sober anymore.
No, not at all.
That ship has sailed.
I'm sending out a page. I'm paging Bob Ross. Is he in the building?
I believe so. He's around here somewhere.
Bob, we need you.
Can Art and Crafts.
Can Arts and Crafts. Here we go. As always, we go in order. So this one's going to be easy because it's pretty straightforward. Hidden Sands, we've got the logo big and bright right away with the doohickey, as I'm calling it. And each beer kind of just has the name, the logo, and the name of the beer. However, if you look closely at the can, you will see they are all different in the background. This one, the 800 Pils, has what looks to be, I would say, the city of New Jersey. I mean, it's got buildings and it kind of just looks like New Jersey is just present.
New Jersey is a state. Just saying.
The state of New Jersey? The city of Egg-Harbor Township. The city of Atlantic City. I don't know. The Amber Ale has what looks to be wheat on it. The 608 DIPA has what looks to be a floral presence. And the grapefruit has, you guessed it, lemon on it. I'm kidding. Grapefruit. I think there's not a lot of artwork going on, but we don't always look away from that. I think regarding the logo and regarding what's kind of printed on the can behind it, I think that definitely plays a factor. I think it makes sense to pair all of these together, and I'm going to give it an 8.7. I think the colors are bold, the colors are bright, and the different artwork in the background is kind of like black and white, and I have an appreciation for that. So I'm going to give it an 8.7. Stephen, you're here, so you have to participate.
I would give it a 7.452.
Okay, great. Bob Ross is here. Bob Ross agrees with Stephen, remarkably. First time that's happened. And that is another edition of Can Arts and Crafts. Look out for their other stuff. I am not sober.
Yeah, it's
not at all. Oh my god.
I'm ready for some food. But they have a lot of other beers there. They have a big beer list.
Yes.
They have a good bit of sours, a watermelon splash, a sour orange, a sour guava, which is interesting.
We told the sour people we would circle back to you.
They have them.
We got them. They got them.
They have a blueberry wheat. Is that the one you had when you were there?
No.
Oh, but it does exist, and that gives me.
You know what I did have?
I'm blue. Any opportunity I
never
have
get tired of that.
To have Violet Beauregard circle across our screen, check us out on YouTube. I'm gonna take it. But they have a lot of wheat beers and light items.
You want to know which one I had? You're gonna appreciate this?
Go ahead.
They specifically call it their West Coast style. It was the 107 IPA. And it was, I mean, did we expect any less? It was amazing. It was delicious.
Dry hop with Citrus, Centennial, and Columbus. Pilsner wheat, spelt, and light caramel malts. Scrumdiddlyumptious. I love it.
Scrumdiddlyumptious, yeah. I don't think I had another. I think I just had that one, but I would love to try the blueberry because, as you know, Yes. I won't play it again, but we do love it.
We have to go, but real quick before we hit the last call button, I feel like we should rank them because we did a flight. And for me, it's going to go Amber Ale, 608 DIPA.
Ooh.
Pills.
Oh! I was not expecting
Grapefruit.
that. Wow.
The Amber Ale wins because the DIPAs are not DIPAs, and that's just a fact. I'm sorry. I don't mean we're really nice on this show. We are not trying to be beer snobs, but 7% does not a DIPA make, and so for that reason, it comes in second. But the Amber Ale is really good. All the beers are really good. But that's my rankings. Go ahead.
Grapefruit, Amber, 608 Pils.
Love it.
Ding, ding, ding,
Easy.
ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
Back and forth.
I thought the 608 was good. I just thought the Amber was more complex, more better. I'm not sober. And I like the Pilsner. I really do. I just think based off of everything else, it's just like,
it's a warm-up beer.
You're Olympics. In the relay with the 4 swimmers, you're the first one.
I miss the Olympics.
You go quick, and then Michael Phelps anchors, and you don't have to worry about it. But he's not in it this one, so.
All right. Speaking of sports, we have one last thing to cover.
Hey.
Last call.
It is my duty once a year to warn the listeners, in fairness, that around August, September, we become a beer and football podcast. Not really. Like, we're not going to be talking about football a lot, but
no, we are.
A lot of these last calls are going to be football related, and camp has started, and Hard Knocks is out, and we're talking about it right now.
Yes, pumped. We love to watch, because we love football, we love fantasy football, but we love the TV. I mean, we're actors, so we love the TV shows, and Amazon Prime, it's All or Nothing, and HBO, it's Hard Knocks. And this year, for All or Nothing, they're doing hockey, which is great. We're looking forward to that.
Well, they did that last year, so because of the COVID protocols, they couldn't have an NFL crew on the field.
All right.
So they did hockey, which honestly, I will watch.
The Toronto Maple Leafs. They're a good team. Why not? But for HBO Hard Knocks, they're doing the Dallas Cowboys again. And what it is it's not mini camp. It's preseason.
It's training camp. It's training camp and preseason, and then the last episode is pretty much focused on cutting
who
players.
Gets cut. Yeah, and they make it dramatic. They put the music behind it, so when that that 4th string tight end gets cut, you feel something.
Yeah. It's always teams that are really bad. Like to land on Hard Knocks, you have to
suck.
You have to have not made the playoffs. You have to
it's actually a rule. If you don't make the playoffs, you are eligible. Like you can't say no.
You can't have been on Hard Knocks in the last 3 years, I think. And there's one other thing. But so what I'm saying is the Packers will never be on it.
We weren't on it because we were on it last year.
You were on it but you had to share it with the Rams, and really you were on it because the Rams did make the playoffs, but the Rams were on it.
We sure as shit.
Because of the new stadium. They were just... No, you didn't.
No.
I can confirm.
All right, relax. You were too excited to give
Wait, I didn't play this drop, and we're talking about football. We have to play it. But what I want to talk about is it was like 10 days ago now. It's like old news, so sorry, but the Giants had a bust-out brawl at their fucking practice.
So what I read was Evan Ingram, the tight end, got hit by one of the safeties. So one of the other offensive players took exception to that and hit him. But in the scuffle, they said Daniel Jones
was at the bottom of the pile.
The franchise quarterback was at the exactly, air quotes, was at the bottom of the pile, and their coach, can't remember his name.
Joe Judge.
There we go. Joe Judge treated them like Hamden Hamden High School Pee-wee football players, and he was like,
that's our hometown.
He made them run laps. He made them do push-ups. He didn't just yell at them. He was like, no, we're gonna act like children. You're gonna go run like children.
I heard he was pissed, and honestly, if you're for the uninitiated, if you're not into football, you've probably shut the podcast off by now. But when at camp, the quarterback cannot get hit. They wear a specific jersey.
They wear the red jersey.
Yeah, they wear a red jersey. You do not hit the quarterback at camp. Camps are meant to set up to set you up for the NFL season and to prepare you. And so to that end, yes, the offensive side of the team and the defensive side of the team play each other because both sides are practicing, so they get practice. Yes. So the defense does hit the offense, but you don't hit the quarterback.
You're also teammates. Like, why are you trying to injure one of your guys that could potentially score you points?
I know. Football is so weird because offense and defense are just two different worlds.
They really are.
It's complete. Like, they don't talk to each other. They don't know each other.
Wow.
I don't. They really don't. A lot of them really don't. You think, like, the defensive linemen have ever spoken to like Tom Brady? Like, probably not really, unless he like has a team meeting. But like for the most part, they are separate entities.
That's true. Yeah.
You see it. Like you see it when you watch these documentaries. You see like the wide receiver, and they'll be like number 12 is going. Like they barely know each other's names.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But yeah, I mean, there's the fight. I don't know if we mentioned this, but it's the Dallas Cowboys. We said this, right? I'm not
on Hard Knocks. Yes,
I'm not
yes, we did. But
it's the Dallas Cowboys for Hard Knocks, and I am interested because of Dak Prescott is coming off of a gruesome injury.
Yes.
CeeDee Lamb is starting to make moves in the NFL. He's going to start blowing up, and there's been a lot of questions about Zeke. Everyone's kind of like, is he still the guy? Should they trade him?
I have questions about Zeke. This is not a fantasy football podcast, but I have questions about Zeke as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be we love the NFL so much. This is my favorite time of year. I'm into Formula One now. I've been watching baseball. Like, this is my sport. Finally, I have a reason to wake up on Sunday morning. So I can't wait. There's so much more drama to come. And if you're into football, this is the podcast
Check
for you.
in.
If you're into,
we drink beer and then we talk about football in a not sober way.
And if you're not into football, give us 10 minutes every couple of weeks. It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
All right, we need to go, but Hidden Sands, thank you. Well done to them, other than, the DIPAs are not DIPAs, but that's okay. We'll be back next week for round 86.
Woo!
And like we said, at the AHO Podcast, Instagram and Twitter. Find us on YouTube. Send us an email, theahopod@gmail.com.
See you next week, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers, everybody.